The few hundred years between the 7th and 13th centuries were a time of strong national power for the Tang and Song dynasties, and this can be seen in the paintings of the time. Techniques created during this time have been handed down to later generations as standards to emulate. Because of the national strength of the time, the art of the Tang era is also grand and imposing. Tang paintings are vast, grand, magnificent, and constitute a brilliant point in China's art history. Buddhism was very popular at the time, and Buddhist style and content were important elements of Tang-era paintings. The painting is of a bodhisattva, person on the path of enlightenment, a Buddhist saint. In India, these people were sexless, but in China in the Tang era, they were all women, with the Tang ideal of chubbiness as beauty and a more intellectualized beauty. Tang Dynasty palace art was vibrant, colorful, grand, and magnificent, showing scenes of opulence. Dao Ziwu is one of the greatest painters in Chinese history. We think of him as a painting saint. In this painting, we can see the flying movement of the lines. Every line has many twists and turns. This is called Wu's wind. His brushstrokes show the wind blowing the clothes of people as if they were walking in the wind. Palace Ladies art shows the ultimate peak in figure painting in the Tang dynasties. Two painters are represented here, Feng Zhou and Xu Hanzhang. Feng Zhou's painting of the hairpin lady shows the rich and leisurely life of the ladies of the nobility. It is typical of this kind of painting using exquisite, heavenly brushstrokes, flowing movements, and thick, rich colors. It is highly sophisticated and shows the tender and delicate skin of the ladies of the nobility and their silk ornamentation. Two pictures by Xinzang, Lady Guoguo touring in spring, and preparing the silk show. The ladies of the nobility enjoying a trip in the spring weather. You can see the ladies are all plump and well-rounded, conforming to the ideas of beauty at the time, and dressed in flamboyant and brilliant colored clothes, with their hair pulled up on their heads in buns. This is a painting of Emperor Taizong's favorite horse, and the animal is Snow White. It is called Night Shining White because it looks as though the moon is shining. The horse looks like it's trying to rear up and whinny, trying to gallop away. The painting is powerfully vivid. This painting records the Tang Emperor Xuanzong taking refuge in Sichuan during a war. Adding gold is a foundation color, with magnificent flowing light and color. The green color has been ground from China's precious turquoise. The warm and cold colors achieve a perfect color contrast. Everyone knows about Wei Wang, the poet and painter. Literati paintings were painted by well-educated, literate people. Their work was mostly black and white ink paintings. Each work had to have a poem, a painting, calligraphy, and a stamp. These four elements were called the four skills. That's how this style was determined. In the Tang dynasty, Buddhism was widespread, but China also had its traditional Tao teachings, the Wei, or the Tao in English. The Tao religion used wall murals for decoration, and 1,000 square meters of these murals decorate the walls of the Yongle Palace. These murals are not just a national masterpiece, they are also rare and outstanding globally. Chinese painting reached its peak during the Song era because of 1. The Song Dynasty Art Academy system. 2. The influence of highly literate people. A feature of this time was the establishment of the National Art Academy. The artists of the Academy developed the technique of realism with an emphasis on portraying reality in finely detailed, exquisite beauty. Another feature of the time was the study of the nature of things. The meaning of this was to encourage artists to pursue the study of the innate essence of their subjects, so their paintings are intricate and depict their subjects in meticulous detail. The Song era Art Academy system made such a huge contribution to China's art culture that people say the Song era is called China's most brilliant era. We are still sketching and copying the art of this time, and art classes about this period are seen as vital for all Chinese artists. These are the characteristics of Song Dynasty painting: a sense of nobility, a sense of the strength of national power at the time, a flourishing economy, and a sense of the stability of the people. All of these can be seen in the paintings of the time. The cultural value of these paintings is not only aesthetic, but also highly collectible. The painting depicts a scene in the northern Song capital of Bian, now Kaifang in Henan province, and the natural setting and bustling activity on both sides of the Bian River. It can be roughly divided into 3 scenes: spring view on the outskirts of Bianjing, the river scene, and the scene in the inner city streets. The scroll, a little over 20 centimeters wide, is divided and well structured, busy without being overcrowded, has no superfluous strokes, and very clearly partitioning. In this scroll, which is more than 5 meters long, there are numerous people, cattle, mules, and donkeys, and other domesticated animals, sit in chairs, and vehicles, houses, boats of varying sizes, bridges, and gate towers, all showing the distinctive Song era character. Only artists from the Northern Song Dynasty Art Academy could have depicted such detail in painting that is only a little over 20 centimeters wide. The very detailed work of the Song Dynasty method can be seen in this painting. Many painters depict real-life subjects with an emphasis on life drawing and color techniques. They also developed creative methods of painting rocky mountains, so the actual appearance of famous mountains and rivers have been depicted in utmost detail. In the category of flora and fauna, this painting shows a yellow bird with pomegranate branches in the background. You can see lots of pomegranate seeds, which are a symbol of good luck and the hope for many children. The feathers of the bird have been painted in meticulous detail. The brush strokes look like fine silk hair, so this kind of technique is called silk hair. The composition of this painting is fully satisfying and particularly delicate. The weaving of every stroke in the flower basket is distinct, and the binding technique so good that it seems real. The work is a representative symbol for China. Many dynasties and many painters have ranked this painting as a symbolic model work. Song Li painted 3 flower blueprints: spring, summer, and winter. This is the most famous painting of the Northern Song Dynasty Emperor Huizong. His personal name was Jizhao. You can see a pheasant in the middle of lotus flowers. The lotus flower is China's most loved flower and is painted here in meticulous detail. As far as color goes, the warm and cold arrangement is very skillful, producing harmony between the dark brown color and the vermilion of the bird, alongside the white lotus flowers. The sketching technique and the colors achieve a beautiful contrast. Song era paintings was elegant with a highly literary flavor.